All right, everybody, welcome back to another legacy video here on Magic Online. My name is Scott. I am the semiotician, and we are going to play some more Turbo Doomsday. Before we get into the deck tech, I wanted to thank everybody for coming along on this rocky journey with me. We've had some ups and downs so far. I've been sick, but I'm feeling much better. And I've got a bit of time this afternoon to grind another league with Doomsday. And if you've been enjoying following along on this journey, consider giving the video a like or hitting the subscribe button. I think we're 3/4 of the way to 100, which is pretty cool. In any case, I've also been experimenting with the audio quality a little bit. I've learned how to add filters on OBS, and so we've got some compression, some limiting, some noise suppression, and a whole lot more gain. I'm still working on this, but I'm hoping that this is sounding a little bit better today. And if not, you'll just have to continue bearing with me. So we're going to run back pretty much the same 75 that we played in the last video. I had played a total of 10 matches, going 5-5 with this version of the deck. I made a whole bunch of mistakes, especially when I was editing. I just was not in the right headspace, I think, being still a little bit sick. And so I'm hoping we can, try to do a little bit better today. Whether we win or not, let's hopefully not make as many crippling errors as I did in the last video. So the 75 almost remains the same. The 60 cards in the main deck are exactly the same as we played last time. We're still going to be testing out this deep analysis strategy, which seems to be solidifying itself within the Turbo Doomsday archetype as a one of, allowing to kind of get to your Oracle without needing an extra card in your hand off of Brainstorm. Seems kind of important in a metagame that is as quick as this one. You often get punished, if not by really fast combo, then by very potent threats and hate pieces out of the prison strategies, or Eldrazi, for example. And so you really just can't be messing around too much. You need to be able to get to that Oracle as quickly as possible in some cases. And I think this deep analysis technology, which is maybe antiquated technology. I think this was a mainstay in Doomsday before I was even acquainted with the deck. But it's back now, and I'm still getting used to playing with it, so I want to continue trying it out. I did make a couple of changes to the sideboard. I did want a little bit more discard in the sideboard, so I've cut the Murktide Regents in favor of 2 Duresses and 1 Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. I like having access to Jace. I've said this in every video that I've played Jace, and in the few where I haven't had Jace, I've mentioned sometimes that I wish I had him. I think he's just a nice little planeswalking boy to bring along with you. If not in the main deck as a 1-1 split, then certainly in the sideboard. There's a lot of Stifle Knot at my local metagame, and so I've actually been playing a 1-1 split of Jace and Boss's Oracle in the main deck. Which also then would free up an extra sideboard slot for you, which can be important if you wanted another discard spell or a Shield Druid, or maybe some kind of silver bullet like Vision Charm, Blue Elemental Blast, Manamorphose, Basic Island, these sorts of things. Even Cabal Therapy or Flusterstorm would be options these days. But in any case, I'm going to play with the Jace in the sideboard here on Magic Online. We're still on the 4 Barrogoyfs and the 4 Dothi Voidwalkers. In the last video, well, we didn't get the best record, and especially in the games that I recorded, but the audio got destroyed. I was quite happy with these Dothi Voidwalkers. I think these Dothi Voidwalkers are a pretty neat card to have in your deck. Their only downside is that they cost 2 mana, but we are a 4 Dark Ritual, 4 Lotus Petal deck, and so we want to be we are more likely, to be able to cast our Dothi Voidwalkers on turn 1 than other decks that might be bringing it in, like Blue-Black Reanimator, for example. Leyline of the Void is a card that we could be playing in Dothi's spot. The advantage of Leyline of the Void is that it cannot be countered. It comes into play before the game even really begins, and so you can have that even on the draw against Oops All Spells and decks like Reanimator. But it has the downside of when it's not in your opening hand, then you have 4 dead cards in your deck. I mean, this is all obvious, kind of baked into the habits of people who have played with with ley lines, but I am just not a fan of drawing a ley line post Doomsday. It really kind of makes me sad. And the other thing is that oftentimes when we're fighting against these combo decks like Upsal spells, like we have so much interaction, especially now that we've got 2 additional duresses and 4 force of negations. Like you don't even need necessarily, right, to win the game with a Doomsday. You can just play your Dothy Voidwalker, and then it's just a Delver of Secrets, basically, that's going to finish the game while stopping your opponent's most potent routes to victory. And so I quite enjoy Dothy Voidwalker, both as a win condition when you're just sitting behind discard and dazes and forces, but also as a nice hate piece. So it's a graveyard hate piece that doubles as a win condition, and that strikes me as pretty potent. In fact, Dothy Voidwalker is just now frozen onto my Magic screen, taunting us. So let's hope that this does not remain there throughout the whole video. Otherwise, we're going to need to do some restarting before we get underway here. And then, of course, the Barrogoyfs are fantastic creatures. I really like the way this card plays against Mono Red Prison, and I've even had some success recently against Eldrazi boarding this card in. And then, of course, the classic application is against Delver of Secrets strategies, especially with Grixis waning and Rug and blue-red variations on the rise. I will say one thing about 4 Force of Negations, in my view, and I might not be right about this, but I think 4 Force of Negations is requisite in your Doomsday sideboard these days. I really value now, and I hadn't as much before, but I really value now being able to answer your opponent's hate spells on the stack rather than trying to like bounce them or something with a Brazen Borrower or an Echoing Truth or into the Floodmaw or Chain of Vapor. Pick your poison, right? Whichever you choose. Our deck is so hyper efficient and requires so many resources that tapping out even 1 mana to answer a permanent that has already resolved can sometimes just amount to time walking yourself, and putting you so far behind that you can't then build like a Doomsday pile that has to pass the turn, for example, because you spent one of your turns tapping mana to answer a thing that they had. And so I think having access to 8 Force of Wills is the best way to go about counteracting the very potent hate pieces, and the very hyper efficient Ancient Tomb strategies especially. And so one of the best advantages of Doomsday, I think, over other combo decks is, as has been stated many, many times before, it is a combo deck that also has like a major controlling dimension in the form of Force of Negation and Force of Will. Then here, of course, we're playing 4 full dazes, 4 Thoughtseizes, and now 2 more duresses in the sideboard. So we're going to be able to morph into combo killing machines while at the same time respecting permanent base removal and getting a nice creature juke to kind of throw our opponents off kilter or distract them from the Doomsday package, perhaps biding us some time to stitch together a said win. So let's see how things shake out today, shall we? And let's hope that this Dothy Voidwalker disappears when I change screens. The Dothy Voidwalker has not void walked away. And so I'm going to restart Magic Online, and we will be back in a moment. All right, everybody, the Voidwalker has gone back into the void where it belongs. And we are here against Orzhov Control, who I believe we played against recently. And I believe they revealed a Yorion, and I believe they were playing Black-White Death and Taxes. And this is the unfortunate skipper of a Cavern of Souls hand. We do not want the Cavern of Souls hand, unfortunately, so we're going to have to mulligan this in search of something better, a little more appealing. This is a double ponder, Daze, Doomsday hand. We're not playing basics again. We have to keep this in mind. This is going to be really bad for this matchup, I think, not having basics. So we need to decide whether we're going to ponder on turn 1 in the face of a wasteland or just jam our catacombs and pass. and they can just white Orchid Phantom us already. I think I am, because we can daze the white Orchid Phantom. I think I am going to cast Ponder here. If we can find a Dark Ritual, that would be really nice. Those aren't really the cards that we're looking for. We got Consider Daze, Personal Tutor. I'm inclined to any order shuffle that. We're looking for Dark Ritual and mana. I will take a Force, I guess. And we're going to have to daze a white Orchid Phantom, I believe. And there's just the Wasteland. So yeah. Okay. I don't like not having basics in my deck in this matchup. Do we risk another Ponder here? We could Brainstorm. That doesn't make sense. We could pass with our fetch land up. I'm going to hope they don't have another Natural Wasteland in their 80-card deck. And I'm going to go for another Ponder here in search of a Dark Ritual. There's an Edge of Autumn and a land. I guess we can take... I certainly want the land. I guess we'll take the Edge as well to help us crack into our pile when we finally get around to doing that. But we're a long ways away. Here comes the White Orchid Phantom, just as we expected. And there's a Daze on the Phantom. Let's get that thing out of there. We do not want to play against that card, especially when Felia gets in the mix as well. This will then let us play out our Polluted Delta now around a Wasteland and pass the turn. And we can go for an Undercity Sewers or some such thing. We still have Force of Will, Pitch Brainstorm. They've got a Spirit of the Lab. That one stops us very good, so I'm inclined to say no to that. Go to the end step. We're going to grab Undercity Sewers now and hopefully find a Dark Ritual. There's a Lotus Petal. Lotus Petal's got to be pretty good, right? We can't quite win here, can we? Is there a Brainstorm Deep Analysis pile? Not when Brainstorm's the only card in our hand. So... gotta hope they don't have another Spirit. We are gonna cast Doomsday here. And then we're gonna need a Thassa's Oracle. Maybe we can take like an Underground Sea, a Misty Rainforest, a Street Wraith, and a Street Wraith. Does that work? I think I don't mind this. Certainly not good against another Spirit of the Lab, but we can play around that, I think, by going like this. And so if they play Spirit, we can just edge cycle in response all the way down to Misty, and then we can draw Oracle for turn. Let's see what they've got here. They have a Wasteland. Flicker Wisp. Sure. They're flickering their planes, perhaps for a Swords to Plowshares, and they're going to Wasteland us. And we'll just cycle this edge in response to the Wastelands. They're going to return their planes. We're going to draw for turn. We're going to cycle Wraith. Draw Misty. Cycle Wraith. Draw Thassa. Cast Misty Rainforest. Fetch. Grab Underground C, play Oracle. All right, we got it. And what do we want against death and taxes? Do we want anything against death and taxes? Let's ask ourselves what we don't want against death and taxes. Probably don't need Cavern of Souls, I would imagine. That's a pretty safe cut. The rest of the deck's like pretty clean. Is there like one thing we can add that's better than a cavern? Do we want to force a negation? Potentially to hedge against deafening silence? I could potentially see that. The skipper we're really genuinely worried about and that just cannot resolve is Spirit of the Labyrinth. So that's going to make our lives much more challenging. We could add like a Barrogoyf, a couple of Goyfs, just to kind of fight them on the creature front, but I don't know. They might keep in their Swords to Plowshares, a bunch of other things. This is a tough thought here. Is it weird just not to sideboard at all? Is one Barrogoyf better than a Force of Negation? Having one Barrogoyf seems kind of goofy to me, to be honest. I don't want Jace. Our mana's getting pressured. Force of Negation, like, I can see it getting Deafening Silence, but that's like, I don't know, they're playing an 80 card deck. Do I want to worry about that? How good is Thoughtseize against my opponent? Doesn't seem that good. What if we played like just two Barrogoyfs? And we're on the draw, so we could cut Daze, but Daze seems pretty good against the White Orchid Phantoms. I'm going to bring in a couple of Barrogoyfs just because I feel like we don't necessarily need Cavern of Souls, and I'm not convinced we want Fawn either. Maybe Goyf will like allow us to live for a while, or at least give us maybe some other way to fight through if we're locked under a Spirit of the Lab or something to that effect. I think Death and Taxes is generally a good matchup for us. But this black-white one, when you're not playing any basics and they've got White Orchid Phantoms, can be rather challenging, I must say. Especially if a Vial gets in the mix. Well, I hope all of you are having a wonderful day wherever you are. We got a major snowstorm in the Toronto area, and yeah, the sidewalks were quite narrow when I was walking to get a haircut this morning. I'm on reading week right now, so I had a week off from teaching, which was nice to recover from my illness, get caught up on some grading, things like that. It looks like game actions are starting to be taken here, and we can decide on this hand. I will keep this hand, I think. We're a mana source away from a Doomsday. We've got oodles of protection in the form of Force of Will and Daze. And our opponent has the Deafening Silence. Do we want to play against that card? We have to force it. What do we want to pitch? We could just say, sure, you have a Deafening Silence, but that can complicate piles. I'm kind of thinking we have to force pitch Force on Deafening Silence, because I want to Ponder, and then I want to Daze a White Orchid Phantom. We draw another Force anyways. How lucky, I guess. Let's play Ponder. Barrogoyf, Daze, Thoughtseize. Those are not really the things we're looking for. We draw Thoughtseize anyways. Let's hope to God they don't just have the natural wasteland. Otherwise, things can go south rather quickly. I really want them to Phantom us. Nope. No bueno. And there's the Vial. I think we have to let the Vial resolve. I'm not... See, the last time I did that, though, I lost to the Vial, if I recall. Now we have to Thoughtseize their Spirit of the Labyrinth. Yeah, I think I might have lost the game by by letting that Aether Vial resolve. Maybe I'm not supposed to take Mother there either. Maybe I'm just supposed to take Cauldron Complete. So we're not targeting any of their creatures, and a Mother's just a 1/1. But they're going to need a Stoneforge to do something with that Cauldron. So, yeah. It's a Misty Rainforest. I'll take that. We're getting closer. Our opponent's hand was mostly hot garbage, besides the Wasteland and the Deafening Silence. So we've crawled out from under those two pickles all right so far. Here comes a Yorion into hand. Crocus, Plains, I think we're used. We're going to, I think, go for the sewers here. Pop into the sewer. Let's put Verdant on top and cast a Doomsday, shall we? Force plus days. The question's just going to be like, oh, okay, they're just scooping to the Doomsday. Kind of love to not have to think out that pile there, but if we were to make a pile there, we know our opponent's got two cards that aren't going to matter in their hand. We would be worried about them top decking a Spirit of the Labyrinth, maybe a White Orchid Phantom, or a Wasteland, although we have three. So I think that we might just build like a Cycler down to Oracle pile in that spot, and then just hope that they don't draw the Spirit of the Lab. Or maybe that's not quite right. This is a spot, right, where like having spoils of the vault in your deck is actually very potent and helpful. But yeah, in any case, we are 1-0 so far, taking down Death and Taxes, and we've already got an opponent here, Joe L. Now, I've been watching Bosch and Roll for a long time, and if I recall, there are many Bosch and Roll videos where he is playing a list by Patreon subscriber Joe L. And if my memory serves me right, these lists are always like Reanimator, Show and Tell, Omni nonsense. Another blue-black combo mage here, and so we can tip our hat to them for that. Let's see about this hand. We do have a Days of Force of Will. We've got double Street Wraith, and then we've got Doomsday, but only a single land. I think I'm going to keep this hand. We might burn a Wraith on the first turn to see if we can dig a little deeper for a mana source, but we're really looking for a Dark Ritual here. And yeah, there's the Polluti Delt. The nice Modern Horizons 3 retro into Snow-Covered Island for Ponder. All these things resolve. We allow all these things to happen. And yeah, we've got to have Show and Tell in mind, but also I believe we need to have Entomb Reanimate in mind. We've got a bit of protection. They will no doubt have interaction. I'm going to lead on a Cycle Street Wraith here. We find Ponder. That's pretty nice. Let's cast a Ponder of our own. Another land and a Thoughtseize. But then we have to draw this Oracle, and that like puts us pretty far behind where we want to be. I don't mind the Thoughtseize and the Underground Sea, I don't think. Maybe we can afford to take things a little slower here, though. I'm not sure. Basic land. They've got their own Thoughtseize. Yeah, that's going to have to resolve. Perhaps they'll take our Force of Will. Yep. That is indeed what they did in their passing. So they seized our thoughts, and now we'll try to seize theirs. Let's see what they're working with over there. I could see them having Brainstorm here, and I might Daze the Brainstorm. Omniscience, Limdul's Vault, Force of Will, Chrome Mox. Do we take Limdul's Vault here? Or do we take Force? Ha ha ha. We could take Omniscience. We're not taking Chrome Mox. It's Force or Limduel's Vault. Limduel's Vault lets them find show and tell, so I think we take that. Then I'm actually going to personal tutor here. And we can get Ponder or another Thoughtseize. I'm going to take Ponder, I think, and I'll pass. Although we do have this Force of Will to worry about, right? So, yeah. I'm going to cast Ponder, though. I want to dig for these land drops and more things like that. There is the land drop. Now we just have the Force of Will to worry about. Play Delta. Pass. There's a Consider underneath. I don't think we need that. I think we probably go for an Undercity Sewers here in the end step. They're going in on the Chrome Mox, pitching Force to Chrome Mox. So they've got Show and Tell. Show and Tell around days. Let's fetch for Undercity Sewers here. We know they have the Omniscience. Let's Surveil. Let's put Edge into the graveyard. And do we cycle a Wraith here? The question is, like, are we dead to this Omniscience? Like, do they have the Emrakul too? I'm going to cycle the Wraith. Go to 13. Another Doomsday. Show and Tell can resolve. Yikes, these were not good draws. We will not put something in. They've got Omniscience. And they've got Gristlebrand. Yep. That seems like it'll do it. All right. Maybe I'm supposed to take Omniscience there. But I think Limduel's Vault was the right call. What do we want against this? Oh, they probably got Consigns. If they are indeed also a graveyard deck, like I'm pretty sure they are, we might consider Dothy Voidwalkers. Ooh, what don't we want against this opponent? I think we can get by with cutting our personal tutors. I don't know that we want Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, though it could be interesting. This is a lot of cards to bring in. I like having access to the quick kill. I don't know that we'll need a double Oracle pile. We could, in all likelihood, cut down on some cyclers. But then it's very unclear where we're supposed to proceed from this point. I can see and maybe wanting to slow down a little. Like, do we want these Dothy Voidwalkers, or are we certainly want to go up to 6 discard spells, and we certainly want to play 4 Forced Negations, I think. And I think we're happy cutting those 6 cards for those. Then the question becomes what we do now, like whether we want these Voidwalkers and Jace in the deck or not. We really need to start making decisions. I'm going to cut a Petal. I might cut a Ponder. Jace Voidwalker, Voidwalker. Do we just bring in 2 Voidwalkers, or is that just silly? Oh, there's so many good cards. Like, every card's just so good. I think I'll submit like this for now. Just bring in 2 Voidwalkers. We'll see how that feels. Here's a turn 2 Doomsday. We've got Fawn. I'm going to keep this one. We've got Brainstorm to kind of play around their Thoughtseize. So we're actually going to play out this Petal. And then we'll pass. If they do nothing, we can Undercity Sewers. There is Underground Sea. There is a Chrome Mox with a Dark Ritual tucked below it into a pass the turn. We're going to grab Undercity Sewers here. I don't think we want to put Doomsday on the stack just yet. Do we want this Ponder? I actually don't mind Ponder here, I don't think. You might say that we've got a bunch of cantrips already. We might want this Brainstorm post Doomsday. Our mana's not going to get taxed, and we have this Force of Negation. So I think I want to proceed to our next turn. Let's see if our opponent wants to do anything tricky here in their end step. They could have an Orcish Bowmasters, I suppose. That would be rather annoying, especially with us drawing this Ponder here. But Ponder we shall. I would like a Thoughtseize here, perhaps. There's the Thoughtseize, the aforementioned Thoughtseize. Let's take it. Let's grab Underground Sea. Yeah, we kind of just have to Thoughtseize them, right? We can't pass. They're brainstorming in response. Sure. So that's going to let them protect their show and tell. Maybe that's a reason to not Thoughtseize here. They're just holding up Brainstorm, but this might not be the when they wanted to cast their Brainstorm, right? So we still do get to take something. Show and Tell, Cabal Ritual, Limdul's Vault, and they have Boseiju who shelters all. Let's take the Show and Tell in that case. I mean, they probably just have another Show and Tell on top of their deck. But they do not have a Force, notably. There's the Boseiju. So now the question is, do they put Force on top of their deck? They can Limdul's Vault. Okay, so Limdul's Vault does not actually put a card into their hand. Mana Source. Mana Source? They could have hid Consign. Thoughtseize. What happens if I cast Brainstorm? Let's go like this. Oh, that was bad. I should have put Doomsday on top of my deck. I'm a silly goose. Obviously, hide Doomsday there. Here comes Thoughtseize. They have another Show and Tell, which we'll take. We'll pass. And then next turn, we get land Dark Ritual Doomsday into Consider for Deep Analysis, I believe. An EOT Limdul's Vault. Now they could just be getting like Consign or something. Oh, they're getting basically whatever they want. The question is, did they value picking up Consign here? Yeah, here we are getting uber punished. But I think we know their last card is Cabal Ritual, right? So we're just going to fawn them and then show them the power of deep analysis, I guess. Doomsday will then put us to 6. Deep analysis costs 3 life. play Doomsday. Cast Consider, bin Deep Analysis, draw Lion's Eye Diamond, play Lion's Eye Diamond, flashback Deep Analysis, draw Edge of Autumn, Lotus Petal, cycle Edge into Oracle. I think that all checks out. So we put Thassa's Oracle on the bottom, Lotus Petal, Edge of Autumn, Lion's Eye Diamond, Deep Analysis, cast Consider, we bin Deep Analysis, play Lion's Eye Diamond, crack Lion's Eye Diamond for triple blue, flashback Deep Analysis, we'll cycle Edge, play Petal, and cast a Thassa's Oracle. All right, on to the next one. We have yet to see any reanimation strategy out of our opponent. Do we want Dothy Voidwalkers still? We might not want Dothy Voidwalkers, honestly. Let's just bring back in our Ponder and our Petal. I think we're on the draw now. Yeah, I'm happy with this. Let's hope our interaction can get us across the finish line here. We shall find out soon enough. What do we think of this hand? This looks like a hand that can go mighty wrong. It does have a brainstorm. I think I'm going to mulligan it. It's got a lot of hot air. This one has no interaction whatsoever, which is bad. But it does have a Doomsday. Maybe we can find some means of protection. Okay, so there's the Ley Line of the Void now, just shutting off Deep Analysis. Sure. We don't care much about that beyond, like, the Deep Analysis line. So let's, I think, lead off here on a Ponder. Wouldn't mind hitting up a Force of Will, because the game could just be over otherwise. Would we rather an LED or another land? Maybe the LED. Shuffle, no. This at least gives us some kind of protection. We'll play with this Petal to play around Days. This is going to be like Ancient Tomb Show and Tell. They're sewering. They're brainstorming. I wish this Force of Negation was a Force of Will, though. They're passing. So they don't have a land. This leads me to believe that our opponent is cooking with some kind of interaction here. I don't know if we're just supposed to cast Doomsday in this spot. Maybe it's fine. Like, what if it does just resolve? Let's try it. I assume they have a Force, but this will, maybe they'll have to pitch like an Omniscience or a Show and Tell or something. Pitch a Brainstorm. Yep, that's fine. Okay. So maybe I'm not supposed to just jam there. Because our opponent not playing a land is a sign that they're just packed to the brim with interaction. There's a Lorien revealed. And now we're like are really looking for something, right? Something juicy. Thoughtseize. Don't really mind picking up a Thoughtseize here. Let's take a peek at their hand. They've got Force of Will, Consigned to Memory, and Dark Ritual. think I think we have to take Force. Whoa, what are they ritualing out here? Do they play Shieldred? Am I supposed to negate this? If this is a Shieldred, I'm sorry, guys. My gut told me it's a Shieldred. Oh, no, no, no. We'll bend to rest. Oh, there's days. There's days. Oof. We got lucky there, folks. We got lucky there, folks. Okay. You know, part of me, in my mind, I was like, this is Shieldred, force the Dark Ritual. Then I was like, do they actually play Shieldred? Like, who knows, right? They play Shieldred. There's another days. Okay. This consign might be problematic to beat. We've got, I think, 3 discard spells left in our deck, maybe 4. Opponent's not doing much, but nor are we. Ooh, there's a Brainstorm. Let's cast that. There's a Doomsday. Okay. So we certainly need Duress. Certainly need Thassa. Having Cavern isn't a bad idea. And then the question is how we want to get there. So what if, hypothetically speaking, we drew Street Wraith, we Street Wraith into Brainstorm, drew Street Wraith into Brainstorm, cast Brainstorm, put Duress, Cavern, Oracle into our hand. We've used 1 mana for Brainstorm, 1 mana for Duress, and then we've got a Cavern Oracle. Potentially down to try that. So, Cavern, Oracle, Duress, Brainstorm, Street Wraith. This gets messed up if we have to force on our opponent's turn, but something tells me they're not going to tap out of their consign. But we shall see. Ponder. Ponder's fine. I like that they're casting Ponder. I would like them to shuffle off their Ponder, if they would be so kind. They shuffled. They played another land. They're playing Chrome Mox now. Pitching Leyline, so they just have Consign in hand. And we are, unless I'm just some kind of bonehead, I think we're off to the races here. Cast Brainstorm. Put back, I guess it's Fawn. Force of Will. Yep. Duress you. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, yeah, we got there. And Joel was exactly right. I think I probably should have. We ended the game with that Fawn in hand. I probably should have just fawned that Dark Ritual. Part of me was like, maybe they're just like literally trying to bait out the Fawn on it, but but yeah, we really got saved by that consider. I guess better lucky than good is what they say. In any case, we are 2-0 with the Turbo Doomsday, and let's see, let's head into the next round here and see what we get next. Alrighty, we got an opponent. It's round 3. We've got some Ponders. We've got a Doomsday. We've got a Cycler to break into the pile and a Brainstorm to kind of fix up the superfluous pieces. I'm here to keep this. We're also on the play. And our choices are to either jam one of our Ponders or just play fetch and pass. Um, I think I'm so playing fetch and passing allows us to brainstorm to protect our Doomsday from a Thoughtseize. It also plays around Wasteland a little bit, but we've got 2 Ponders, and I kind of wouldn't mind starting to cast some spells. So we're going to start off with a Ponder here and see what shakes out. Another copy of Doomsday, a Petal, and a Ponder. Let's put Ponder on the bottom. I'm going to keep these cards. Do I play the Petal? I think I'll hold the Petal in hand. Watch us get chaliced on 0. I guess a lot can go wrong here. Okay, there's the Wasteland, so that's the first thing that can go wrong. So terribly wrong. And I think we cash value here. Let's cycle Edge in response to at least get a card off this Wasteland. It is the other Doomsday, of course. And now I think I'm just going to continually jam Ponders. Let's see. This is certainly an any order shuffle. Force of Will I'm not that mad about, and I guess I'll play with this Lotus Petal now so we can Force of Will around a Daze if need be. Another Wasteland. Don't have the Edge this time. Maybe I'm just supposed to not cast any of my Ponders. Do they have a third Wasteland? Let's put them to the test. You would think I learned my lesson, but I'm here to cast these Ponders. Ooh, there's a Dark Ritual and a Street Wraith and another Brainstorm. Brainstorm on the bottom. Dark Ritual, Street Wraith. No Shuff. Pass the turn. Do you have Wasteland number 3, opponent? No. No, they do not. They've got a Polluted Delta. Delta of their own. And a Nethergoyf. That is a beater. I mean, they most certainly have a Force of Will here, but we gotta do the thing, I think. Stock up. What the hell is that? Look at the top 5 cards of your library. Put 2 of them into your hand. Ah, neat. Let's force back. And they have yet another force. Okay. And we've got a Brainstorm coming next turn. Ah, we did what we could there. Push into bin, attack for 2. Yup. Let's cast Brainstorm while we can't get Bowmastered, I suppose. put Personal Tutor on top of the deck with Doomsday on top of that. Play Underground Sea, pass. And then maybe, just maybe, next turn we can get there with these two cards. They pitched a bunch of resources, so that bodes well for us. But yeah, I have not been having good luck against these tempo blue-black strategies recently. Ponder you don't like to see at all, especially if they don't shuffle here. We really got to hope for a shuffle because a keep probably means force or daze. They've already used 2 forces. They did not shuffle. Wasteland. Okay. I guess we could have put Doomsday on the stack last turn. Wow, the 3rd Wasteland is crippling. I think we lose to the 3rd Wasteland. Yep. Now we're drawing Personal Tutor. 1, 2, 3. Nethergoyf spanking us for 3. Murktide Regent. I think that spells our end because we have Personal Tutor on top of the deck. I guess we could, like, I don't know, hypothetically Wraith into something. Alrighty. Wow. Okay. Do we want Barrowgoyfs against our opponent? I think we want Duresses. I think we want Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. I don't think we care about Dothy. We might want some Barrows. Let's see what we're looking to cut here. I think we can cut a Personal Tutor. I'm not a big fan of card disadvantage against our opponent. If we were bringing in the Barrowgoyfs, we could cut like all of the Personal Tutors. We could cut a Thassa's Oracle because we're bringing in Jace rather. And then all of our other cards seem so good. All of our other cards seem so good. Could probably trim on like a Street Wraith. Maybe we can get by without the Goyfs. I'm going to try going no creatures. Let's see if we can get them. This hand strikes me as a little... We need to get kind of lucky. It's got a lot of mana. It's not quite proactive enough. This hand certainly fits the bill. The question is, do we Doomsday? Or do we Thoughtseize our opponent? And if we Thoughtseize them, we have to be willing to lose to Wasteland. I feel like we have to lead on Thoughtseize. But maybe turn 1 Dark Ritual Doomsday is just too good. Already got Brainstorm. We've got Thoughtseize. I'm going to poke a hole before I just throw 2 cards away. They don't have the Wasteland, but they've got double Thoughtseize of their own. So I guess we were screwed no matter what we did there. That's a crippling hand. I guess... Do I take Fawn, Daze, or a Thoughtseize? Inclined just to let them thought seize us at this point. We're dead. I already know that we're dead. Is Daze going to be more potent against us or Force of Negation? I'm going to take Daze. They're going to thought seize us. That will be unfortunate. Yep. Yep. There goes Doomsday. Now, maybe they didn't draw a blue card and we get the Thoughtseize bug. Another Thoughtseize of our own. I kind of want to brainstorm now. Hoping to hit a land, of course. Did hit the land. Got a Jace now. Can put back... maybe Jace, Dark Ritual. And then we can Thoughtseize our opponent. And now we can take probably their Brainstorm. And then they can Thoughtseize. They've got 4 cards in hand. And then they can Thoughtseize, take our Thoughtseize. Now I honestly wish that I had Barrowgoyfs in the deck. So now they can just hard cast their Fawn. There's Jace. I'm not going to cycle Wraith because there's a potential world where we can just cast this Wraith off this Dark Ritual and see how far it can take us. But now the selection engine's going. As soon as they find their first like stock up or ponder or brainstorm, we're just going to be in the shitter, or threat even for that matter. There's a Thoughtseize. Yeah. Take it away, my friend. Take it away. Taking Dark Ritual. Draw Petal. Now I'm going to cycle the Wraith, I think. It's an edge. We'll pass. The thing is, this Jace is just going to eat it to a Fawn, which rather sucks. And there's their first Brainstorm that I was talking about. They're just passing. We'll draw Daze. We'll pass. They're just passing. We'll draw Ponder. Let's cast Ponder. Force of Will, Brainstorm, land. Let's put Brainstorm on the bottom. Force. Let's undo. Shoot. Okay. Use Ponder's ability. No. Play Delta. Pass. They have a second Sewers. Mystic Sanctuary. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, they're just getting Brainstorm. I thought they were going to get Thoughtseize there. This blue-black deck's pretty cool. It's kind of like exactly what we morph into when we become like combo killer Doomsday, except that they just don't have to worry about making Doomsday piles to win the game. They can just play Nethergoyf. I'm a little bit jealous about that sometimes. Speaking of the devil, and it shall appear. Yeah, this Nethergoyf is just going to eat our Jace over the course of 2 turns as well. I think we need the Force on top, so We're going to jam Jace. They're going to daze. And then they're going to fawn. Oh, man. I think we cycle edge. I don't know. The game's like so close to being over. Wow, we did draw the daze. Okay. We did draw the blue card we were kind of looking for here. And then we got to hope that now they're going to hard cast their negation. And then I'm going to daze their negation. But if, of course, if they just have another blue card in hand, none of this works out for us. But it looks like they're taking the bait. And so we will indulge. Is the Jace going to come in? It is. We don't want to mill them. We'll mill ourselves. Play Underground Sea. And we'll pass. Yeah, Jace is just going to eat it, though. Jace is just going to eat it to this Nethergoyf. Well, there's an Oracle. Let's mill some cards and draw some cards. There's a Force of Will. I guess we'll play out Thassa's Oracle, which can chump block the Nethergoyf, giving us one more turn with our Jace. It's a hard cast Force of Will. They've got a Fawn too in their hand. I'll force pitch Brainstorm on that Force. We'll look at the top 5 cards of our deck. I really wish I had Barrogoyfs in my deck now, folks. I don't think we could take Dark Ritual, but they've got Fawn, so I don't think we want any of those cards. We're just treading water here, though, like, me oh my goodness. Nethergoyf's pumping. Chump block with Oracle. This will give us 2 more Jace activations, ideally. Polluted Delta for turn. Let's mill ourselves. Is Undercity Sewers milled yet? It does not appear to be. So that is good, I guess. Yup, let's surveil. Doomsday, I guess we put on top. That is the skipper that we're looking for. Let's mill another 2. Maybe we can hit a duress here. Well, we know that this Doomsday is not resolving, so let's play Ponder. Let's any order shuffle those. Draw Lotus Petal. Okay, so now Jace is gone. And yeah. Really, I guess I mis-sideboarded. I guess I really want to have some Barrogoyfs in the deck here. I was worried about Fatal Push ultimately. Jace is finally going to bite the dust. We spent a lot of resources protecting the Jace, and it did not get us there. I mean, yeah, we know they have Fawn, so we can't play Doomsday. But yeah, hilariously, a Barrogoyf would be rather nice. At least we got to grind for 12 turns, I guess. Yeah, this was the triple Thoughtseize hand as well. Now I guess we jam Doomsday. If they let it resolve, we scoop. Mm-hmm. Bowmasters. That'll be the icing on the cake, unfortunately. All right, GG's opponent. We are 2-1 on to round number 4. Next time we play against Blue Black Tempo, I'm going to try out Barrow-Goyfs. Certainly want the Goyfs against Delver. Wasn't sure about against that opponent. Yeah. Yeah. We'll give this one an old try, the old college try. Let's pick up Underground Sea, cast Personal Tutor, and fetch ourselves a Doomsday. This hand's actually quite nice with Deep Analysis and Undercity Sewers in our hand, where if this Doomsday resolves next turn, we can just Undercity Sewers Deep Analysis into our graveyard off the top of the pile, cast LED, flash it back, and win. Now we can't do that. We're getting Thought Seized. Thought Seize is going to take our Dark Ritual most likely. So let's daze it. Let's play around their possible dazes. Dark Ritual Doomsday, they've got Force Pitch Brazen Borrower. Okay. So we're just going to get shredded by superior blue-black decks, it looks like. This one feels like Reanimator. Kind of sad about how I sideboarded in that last match. I kind of wish I just brought in all of the things. Here's Wasteland. Here's Cavern of Souls. Here's Undercity Sewers. Street Wraith, not quite what we're looking for. Let's get that guy into the graveyard. Guess we can jam an uncounterable Thassa's Oracle next turn. Ponder. Flooded Strands. Polluted Delta. You know what? We're playing 2 Oracles, so I don't mind running this one out. It can help with Devotion in the face of Orcish Bowmasters. It does let us decide. I think we'll take a Ponder over Dark Ritual. They're going to get Undercity. No. Okay, so this is Reanimator. And we are dead. Great. Great. This deck, I really just despise. This blue-black Reanimator deck. I don't know why. No shade on anyone who plays it. It's certainly strong. Yep. That looks like about the end of us. Okay. I think we want Dothy Voidwalkers. I think we want Duresses. I can see actually wanting Jace. I don't know how I feel about Fawns. We can cut Thassa's Oracle, Edge of Autumn, Street Wraith. Can probably cut Lotus Petal, Personal Tutors. And then do we want any Barrow-Goyfs? They get snatched up so easily. I don't think we do. I think I'm going to try boarding like that in this matchup. And we'll see how it shakes out. Possibly want some number of Fawns, but I prefer to just discard them and kind of try to race them, I guess, although we are cutting a bunch of things that help in the racing dimension, like Personal Tutor, Edge of Autumn, Lotus Petal, Thassa's Oracle, but I'm not sure how to fit these cards into our deck otherwise, and we're experimenting with Dothy Voidwalker to see how it feels in this matchup as well as Oops All Spells, so we best take the opportunity to try it if we are presented with it. Don't always play against blue-black Reanimator in your league, so yeah, let's see how this works. Okay. Game number 2. We've got the Voidwalkers. We'll keep our hand and see how they fare. I'm going to lead on Thoughtseize here. I would like to take an Entomb, a Troll of Khazad-dûm. So the thing about Voidwalker is... Oh, we don't want to take a Troll of Khazad-dûm, obviously. They have triple Reanimate, Daze, Brainstorm, Troll of Khazad-dûm. And we're just dead to this Troll of Khazad-dûm. Daunty Voidwalker is too slow. I will take Daze. Daunty Voidwalker is too slow. Not going to stop us from jamming it, but yeah, this is pathetic. They will cycle their troll in response, and then they will reanimate their troll. And their troll is going to kill us, I think, quicker than our Daunty Voidwalkers will kill them. Although they are going to nuke their life total here. Whoa, they're getting Undercity Sewers. That strikes me as a teensy bit risque. I'm going to snap off this force. It's going to put us onto a Jace plan, but I don't like this play from our opponent, I don't think. I really think they should have just cycled Troll into their graveyard in response, and they have a 6/6. But now the Voidwalker's just in. Okay. I think I'm decently happy with a Voidwalker here. Be even happier when the second one comes down the pipe next turn. I'll let this Brainstorm go. Although you could imagine actually just forcing that Brainstorm because their hand is hot garbage. They're passing. We're going to untap, upkeep, draw. Play out Flooded Strand. Let's jam another Voidwalker. We're going to cycle Troll now. Straight into exile. Yep. I think I'm going to hold this pedal in case we draw Brainstorm. We're still Force of Willing around a Daze. There's Fatal Push. Honestly, this is our game plan. Let's protect our game plan. Even so, they're only going to be pushing one here if they successfully get a push off. Delta pushes in exile. I did not get Undercity Sewers. That was a mistake. Got a little excited. Look at that. We get the Brainstorm. Pedal still in hand. Just like we kind of drew it up. But yeah, this game would have been a million times different if they cycled their Troll of Khazad-dûm there. Do we Brainstorm? I think I don't mind it. They're not representing a Orcish Bowmasters right now. Might as well fire it off while the firing's good. Then I suppose that we can hide Doomsday on top of our deck. We can Thoughtseize our opponent. We take their Force of Will. Sure. And I might even just shuffle away this Doomsday now that they have Consign in their hand. Maybe I'm supposed to be like playing Doomsday. But yeah, their hand is all just Reanimator stuff. They're just locked out under these Voidwalkers. There's a Brainstorm. That is a good one. That is how things start. That is how they begin to turn the tide. There's our Doomsday. What do they have in the void for us? There's a Troll of Khazad-dûm in the void. A Brainstorm. There's also a Force of Will in the void. I probably should have Thoughtseized first. Let's take another peek at their hand. They've got Bowmasters. Bowmasters cannot block Daunty Voidwalker. I guess I'll take Consign this time since we do have Doomsday in our hand. But now Now they have to find like brainstorm into double fatal push. That will beat us. Okay, we stole a game. Now, how do we want to proceed for the next one? These Voidwalkers will not be as good on the play, or sorry, on the draw as they are on the play. Force of Negations become somewhat more intriguing since they are still on the Reanimator plan, though they could be pivoting off the Reanimator plan as well. What if we bring in more creatures in the form of Barrogoyfs? We could cut Deep Analysis and Consider, but maybe we still want that quick speed potential. We could just run it back the same way. We are on the draw, so maybe we can cut like a daze for a Force of Negation. And part of me does want to try Barrogoyfs. I like having a little bit of life gain in the deck. No, I still want to have Doomsday capabilities, I think. I don't think they're going to make the not cycle Troll of Khazad-dûm mistake again. We've got a turn 1 Dothy. Worked out well for us last turn. Unclear it will work out well for us this time. Opponent's on a mull to 5. I really hope they ponder on turn 1. Best case scenario is our opponent ponders on turn 1. Worst case scenario, they either Thoughtseize us and we don't get Thoughtseize bugged, or they ponder, or they pass with mana up. Just like this. Let's cast Lotus Petal and see what they do. Let's play Cavernon Rogue. Let's go black for an uncounterable Voidwalker. This time they've got Entomb. Yep. This is really bad. Archon of Cruelty into the bin. And here's the reanimation, and we just don't have protection to back this up. If we're going to cycle Edge, we should have done it in response to the Entomb. Let's see if we hit a Force, I guess. We do hit the Force. Should have done it in response to the Entomb. They've got Daze. Sure. Yeah. That'll be that. All right, GG's opponent. We are 2-2 on to the last one. I don't know what it is. I can never beat these blue-black decks. I must be doing something radically wrong, but I don't know what it is. It just feels like they always have all the interaction and the threats. Maybe that keep in game 3 was not a good one. But we had the turn 1 Voidwalker. But yeah, Voidwalker is just too slow against this Reanimator deck. It's leading me to believe that Leyline of the Void might actually be the better card. All right, the final round, number 5. Let's see what's going on here. Ooh. This hand certainly has some skippers, doesn't it? We're on the draw. This hand's like not great, but it's got Deep Analysis LED. I'm going to keep. Opponent plays Island Go. Interesting. What does Island Go mean? Probably means that we want to Thoughtseize our opponent. Force them to use a Brainstorm in a bad spot, maybe. Flusterstorm. Was not expecting that old chestnut. Okay. Is this show and tell? High tide? What plays Flusterstorm? Doomsday? Ponder's fine. I don't want to daze that. Misty Rainforest. Okay. Dark Ritual. Wow, the world is an oyster, isn't it? Dewey Personal Tutor. Grab Doomsday. I think I'm here for that. See how they would like to respond. They were protecting something with that fluster. Are they considering forcing this? No. Okay, we'll put Doomsday on top of our deck and we'll just pass. We've got a whole bunch of ways to skin the pig here. The pig just has to resolve. The pig is Doomsday, if you haven't already guessed. Ancient Tomb. So this is show and tell. And we might just be dead. Sneak attack. Show and tell. Not much to say about that. They've got a Traxa. Let's hope that reveals the Stone Cold Nothings. Reveal the Force of Will. That's very bad for us. What are they going to take? These are their choices. They took Force of Will, Volcanic Island, Show and Tell, and the One Ring. Now we're facing down in a Traxa. What do we need to happen here? We know this Doomsday is not resolving, but that's fine. I think we can afford to pass. We need our opponent to like cast the One Ring here. That would be the first step in executing our strategy. Thundering Falls. There's the Volk. Yeah, they're just passing. There's no reason to play a spell. It starts with our opponent playing the One Ring. Ponder's fine. Just get a little greedy, opponent. That's all we can hope for. I did not cast Consider in my opponent's end step, which was a not good. Can we afford to take 7 more here? We kind of have to. Opponent's playing Show and Tell. That just resolves. I've got Omniscience. Yep. So what would have I drawn? Another Daze wouldn't have helped us resolve Doomsday on that turn. Okay. 6 skippers. We cut Thassa's Oracle, Street Wraith, Edge of Autumn, Lotus Petal, Personal Tutor, Personal Tutor. And then do we want Jace? They're Pyroblast deck, so maybe we don't want the Jace. I think I'm fine to go like this. Sort by mana value. Submit deck. That was a wonky keep. My hand that last game. This hand ideally stops them from doing things. I'm going to keep this one. This is a heavy interactive hand. But I don't mind kind of just controlling the game. Maybe I was supposed to word in Dothy Voidwalkers to try to like discard an Omniscience and then cast Omniscience off Dothy. That could have been fun. Well, let's start by taking Show and Tell. If they just draw Ancient Tomb, that would not be the best for us. They are going to get this brainstorm, which is kind of annoying. But even like if they don't play the pedal here, they are playing the pedal. Okay. There's the skipper. I don't mind playing at an LED now. Are they going to fluster this duress if I hit them? I don't know if they'll fluster. They could fluster or they could brainstorm. Whatever their little heart desires. They're going for the brainstorm. Take Flusterstorm. Leave them with 4 lands. Was like, I think it's like that. And we pass. So they maybe liked one of their cards. The mountain is now gone. We'll pass. There's another brainstorm. Scaldy Tarn. I hope they go for a show and tell right here. Ponder, not in the business of countering that. Shuffled their library. Dark Ritual? Lotus Petal. Getting closer. Opponent's got 4 cards in their hand. Let's eat 2 of them. Or at least one of them, I think. If they want a hard cast force, we can daze it. That might be what's happening. It would be great to hit a hard cast force here. Force pitch Atraxa. Sure. We'll pass. It's a nice hymn to Turok there. These dazes are increasingly dead magic cards. Let's draw another daze. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Another fawn. Show and tell. Let's play Force of Negation, pitch daze. Pyroblast. Let's play Force of Negation, pitch daze. Is this where the show is over, folks? Another 2-3. And there's the fluster. What do they got? Emrakul. And that will be that. Wow. Okay, so another 2-3 with the list. Last time I felt like I made a bunch of play mistakes. I think I made less mistakes this time. I guess we'll see when editing, but something about this deck is not jiving with my style. I don't know if it's just because I've been playing a bunch of Esper with Rings into Fairies recently that I'm kind of out of the turbo headspace. And clearly the deck is performing well for others, but I'm trying to figure out why I can't seem to wrap my head around it. What are our issues? Maybe I'm keeping bad hands. Maybe I'm not mulling properly. Like maybe just a bunch of discard spells and counter spells isn't enough to beat show and tell, though in the past that strategy has worked out fine for me. Our other 2 losses were against Blue-Black Reanimator. I think it's safe to say that Dothy has been pretty good in some spots. There's other spots, like the one we saw with the Archon of Cruelty coming down, off the end tomb on turn 1, where this Voidwalker just does not do enough. I guess my next video might be feeling better, still getting crushed. Might be what we'll call this one. I don't know what else to say. I feel like while we dumpstered black white taxes, that's a given. We got really lucky to spike the days against Joel. Like this could have just as easily been a 1-4 showing. I guess some of the differences are between like the decks that I'm used to playing, as I usually play Cabal Rituals. I usually play 4 Personal Tutor, which helps get Doomsday a little more efficiently. But I love Days as an ex-Delver player. And yeah, I maybe I'm just making bad decisions, or I don't understand what's going on, but I'm really finding these blue black matches to be especially challenging. I think Show and Tell is overall a good matchup for us, although the showing today would beg to disagree with that statement. They had a lot of interaction lined up there for that Show and Tell into Emrakul. And there wasn't a whole lot we could have done about that. We drew all of our dazes. Our opponent had far more lands to stop us, and we just could not turn the corner quick enough with the Doomsday. In any case, I hope this was still an enjoyable learning experience nonetheless. I'm about to go to my weeklies, and I've got this same list sleeved up pretty much for that. But now I'm starting to second guess myself. But yeah, in any case, it's been working out well for Eureka. Consider checking out his content again. Maybe you can learn more about how to properly sideboard with this list over there. Perhaps I'll be joining the Patreon and hoping to learn some more from Eureka as well. But yeah, we'll, I guess, keep chugging along here with Doomsdays. But yeah, the past two leagues have been a little unimpressive, and so we might need to look to making some adjustments. I had a similar kind of experience a while ago where I just went into a huge slump with Blue Black Turbo. And it took me a while to get out of it, but maybe I'm still just a little bit rusty. I need to do closer examinations of what kinds of cards decks tend to be playing in this metagame, to try to make heads or tails of how to proceed. But yeah, I hope this was enjoyable in any case. I'm still having fun. I hope the audio is sounding better. And we will see you all soon in another video. Have a wonderful day wherever you are, and good luck casting your Doomsdays.